Has anyone ever asked or wondered or commented that you've seen over the years why smaller knives are more expensive to make? Well, I have, and very simple reason for that. When something is smaller to make, it costs more because it is that much more time consuming. It's that much harder to get the tolerances to be extremely precise in that small of a part, the operation of a piece, locking mechanism in a small piece, whatever the fitment is of the inlay, what have you. I mean, I'm not really talking custom knives now, more production knives. And I don't have really any large knives to compare because I just don't have a lot of large knives. I have regular size knives, in my opinion, anywhere between 3 inch blades upwards of, I guess, maybe 3.6, 3.7 max inch blades, 4.5 inch handles, those types of knives. I don't have these 4 inch pocket, 4 inch bladed folding pocket knives and things like that. So, and I don't have any 2 inch bladed knives. I used to have the ZT0022 or the 0022. That was a tiny knife. That was probably the smallest knife that I had. That's excluding, if we have slip joints, I have slip joints. But, guys, I think that probably one of the smaller knives I have is like the Nakamura. Now, this is a little different, but someone might wonder, okay, why does it cost more? And I'm not going to compare it to my custom or even the Spyderco, but, well, because, like I said, these parts that are really small, to make, when they have to fit them in such a specific way in order to make the knife still function and work, and it's difficult to do so when it's hard, right? Think about it like I'm trying to think of a good example. Let's go to cars for a minute. Let's see. Let's just say you had a car that had. Nah, that's hard to say. V8s compared to 4 cylinders. That's a little different. I'm trying to think of something really good. Let's just take the ZT 0022 that I mentioned. Okay, that's like a 1.9 inch knife. Okay, let's use, here's a good example. Use like the ProTech half breed, or like what's that other brand I'm thinking of, or any of like the small 2 inch bladed California legal autos, right? Either made by Hogue or, as I mentioned, ProTech and other companies. Why do they cost so much to make? Like I said, it's very simple from a engineering standpoint. I mean, when you make something that is yay big and then you have to size it down and still make it the same as you made the big piece, you have to get very creative. And in order to do that, it's going to cost more. That's just the way it is. I mean, you would think, oh, it's smaller. It looks not physically, excuse me. It's dimensionally smaller, right? But that doesn't mean that it's going to cost less, okay? You can have, and I know I keep going back to the car examples, but they're not great examples. You could have a brand new Yukon from GMC, and those are stupid expensive, but that's another point, right? Those could go, let's just say, $100,000, maybe more. And then you have a small little Porsche 911, and it's like that's $180,000. Yeah, too many different manufacturers. I get it. Different transmission systems and different transmissions, and everything. But And I'm sorry, guys, that's not the best example or comparison, but when you are trying to do that from a manufacturing standpoint, it's harder to make the parts. It's more time consuming to make the parts because they all are smaller, because you have to get it just right or else something could go wrong. That's why they cost more. Very simple. Sorry to ramble. I was trying to give good comparisons. I couldn't think of any except for the ZT0022. I forget what that knife cost at the time. It might have been 200 or 220, 250. I don't even remember anymore. If they're even still making it, it might even be close to like 270 for all I know. And then they have other models that are probably around the same, like 300, and they're much larger. They're 3 times the size. Well, it's because to make something that small and to be so detailed and to perfect it, not saying it's a perfect knife, but to make it work correctly as intended or as designed, yeah, it's just going to cost more. That's just the way it is. So, that's it. Thanks for watching.